Cathie Wood loves herself some Bitcoin, guys. Cathie Wood's predicting a Bitcoin rise up to over $1 million in 2030. This is going to be an interesting one that I want to get into. And I can see her logic. But here's the thing, guys. If Bitcoin is going to rise to over $1 million right now, that puts it at least a 30x from where it is right now. So, if Bitcoin's rising by 30x, what do you think good quality altcoins are doing? You find the right altcoin, 100x, 200x, 500x, 1000x, as long as you're not betting on random ones, and you go for quality altcoins, you've got a hell of a shot of making legitimately fantastic returns on your money. And if you want to do that and you don't know where to start, come check out Copy My Crypto. This spreadsheet of the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. And if you invested $100 to each one of these, when I release the videos and you're still holding all that crypto, after all these corrections we've been experiencing, you'd still be in profit for over 54 grand. This is not what I hold anymore. You want to see what I hold, come check out Copy My Crypto. 2021 was a fantastic year. The long-term holds did amazingly well. The quick flips did phenomenally well. And the airdrops have been magnificent. If you want to be a part of those gains and you want to prepare to find those altcoins that are going to do those 100x's, 200x's, 1000x's, then come check it out. I've got a spreadsheet full of altcoins that I am watching for huge growth over up until the next bull cycle and beyond. When I think they can do that 100x, 200x, etc., I'm going to be sharing them with the Copy My Crypto members. If you want to make those gains, click the link in the description and check it out. All right, before I get to Cathie Wood, we'll just quickly review the Fed. So the Fed meeting occurred yesterday. It was a neutral event, guys. Yeah, there was some hawkish sentiment, mainly around Jerome Powell's just general demeanor, but he's never really been one that's bullish, or dovish, in the sense of, he comes across as a miserable guy. His body language sucks. And what you actually realize when you actually look at everything that was said, or even if you look prior to when he actually spoke, markets ramped up because the Fed released their minutes of the meeting, and the minutes confirmed nothing's changing right now. Exactly the plan in place that was meant to occur. Neutral event. His tonality, however, was fairly miserable. The only two pieces that I thought were particularly negative in terms of the press conference in particular were firstly, that inflation's gotten worse since their last meeting. Not a surprise, though, expected. Second thing was that there's not necessarily a cap on the interest rate hikes. He was questioned on, did you look at anything beyond 0.25%? And basically he'd said no. He said, I'm not going to get into figures. And the fact that he avoided the question implies that they're going to look at higher percents down the line. They did say the market data will lead them. The whole goal is to tackle inflation, and the way they tackle inflation is interest rate hikes. Now, two key areas that they were consistently mentioning were labor markets and inflation. Now, if unemployment rises, they'll have to reevaluate whether or not they do interest rate hikes. If inflation reduces, which, let's be honest, it doesn't look like it's going to, then they'll have to reevaluate whether or not how the level of inflation hikes that they look at. But now there's a let-off. For the market, for all of us, there's a let-off because they're not meeting until the 15th of March. So it means probably we should experience some level of bounce in the market. As well as that, we should experience we should see a bounce in the market throughout February, because the buying still occurs during February. That's $30 billion they're going to be buying in Feb, so of assets. So it should still continue to push the market upwards. And it appears, the FTSE 100 is actually trading up today. When you look, it opened one and was immediately 1% down. It's since not only rallied, but is back to an even keel, but is now in the positive by 0.28%. These traders are aware of what's happening. Obviously, they know the Fed meeting, and fundamentally, it was a trading event. It was an opportunity for people to short the market when the moment he started speaking, because he's a miserable sod. And now we've got the FTSE 100 looking bullish, so, or certainly positive, more positive than negative. So if that's the case, we could very well see a bounce on the S&P today. We could see a bounce on Bitcoin today as well, which would be interesting. Now, Cathie Wood. Cathie Wood, we know how bullish Cathie Wood is. She loves herself some Bitcoin. She loves it. She's previously said it would reach $500,000 by 2026. She's now predicting, and ARK Invest, to be fair, are predicting that Bitcoin could exceed $1 million by 2030. Now, this is based on a number of assumptions. So the key thing here is that they're stating that it can break $1 million based on a number of factors. So Bitcoin's market capitalization still represents a fraction of global assets and is likely to scale as national states adopt it as legal tender, which was said by one of the ARK analysts. Big Ideas 2022 Outlook report, which was released on Tuesday, basically stated that Bitcoin's outlook, their outlook on Bitcoin, is that it's taking market share as a global settlement network. According to ARK's research, Bitcoin's cumulative transfer volume increased by 463% in 2021, and its annual settlement volume has surpassed Visa's annual payments volume. That's pretty staggering. Tech advancements such as the Taproot upgrade and Lightning Network may also help Bitcoin scale, and institutional ownership of Bitcoin will also become more widespread. Now, if institution and the factors that they were basically leading to in terms of what would push Bitcoin to over $1 million were the levels of adoption. It has to be adopted by a number of the companies within the S&P 500. We know a few of them already have, but it needs to be more adopted. It also needs to be more adopted by institutions in general. It also needs to be adopted by more nations. When regulation comes in across the world, because realistically there's very few countries that have properly regulated or got a narrative in place for crypto, which is why it's in flux a lot of the time. When that comes into play, we should also see an appreciation in the value of the assets, and that is their general belief. Now, I can completely see where she's coming from, because realistically 30x could be achievable from where we are right now. If you bear in mind this year, from bottom of the market to the top of the market, we saw, I think it was a 23x for Bitcoin, because the bottom of the market was around 3K and the top of the market was 69K. So around a 23x. So a 30x from now seems achievable, because that's effectively still 2 bull cycles, if we're still subscribed to the 4-year cycle, which I'm personally not. Extended cycles certainly appears to be the truth of the matter, and then you play into the diminishing returns element of an extended cycle. As cycles extend, diminishing returns comes into play. Growth of each cycle will be smaller. But even across 2 cycles, if Bitcoin 69K was the top, and the bottom, let's say the bottom is 10K, then say you do a 20x on that in the next cycle, that's 200K. And then say the bottom of the next cycle, let's say, is 40K, another 20x or thereabouts, and you're looking at 800K. So it's feasible. I think it's unlikely we're going to see 1 million or more by that point, because of diminishing returns. I just think, the evidence isn't there that we're going to hit 1 million, not by 2030. But the growth of Bitcoin is still there. The growth of Bitcoin can still be achieved. And fundamentally what it boils down to is, yeah, Bitcoin's a safe asset. It's a strong asset. But if you pick the right altcoin, guys, you make that growth 10 times over. We saw cryptos this year do, like, good cryptos, good altcoins doing 400, 500, 600x's. And yeah, diminishing returns will play a factor. So next cycle, those same coins won't do those same gains, but they'll still outdo Bitcoin. So all you need to do is find the right coins. And if you want help with that, and you want to see how that works, come check out Copy My Cryptos, where I find the right coins. I found Phantom when it was in the bear cycle at 0.5 cent. Right now, it's pricing at $2.15. That's a 420x. And right now, I've been building, well, for the last year and a half, I've been building a spreadsheet full of cryptos based on the team, the quality of the tech, the partnerships that they've got, every factor and every variable that is important. And using that, I'm going to watch how they retrace during a bear cycle. And then from there, if I see that they've got the potential to do that 100, 200,000x, I'm going to be sharing them with the Copy My Crypto members. If you want to be a part of that and make those gains, click the link in the description and check it out. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.